Yo man, I've got 5 Sheepblaster rated fiction books for you. Now these are technically my favorite books, but I also think that they're very important and kind of relatable, as in the sense of like, wow, I feel pain, I feel the negatives of the human experience. So number 1, American Psycho by Bret Easton Ellis. This is like a no-brainer. I think if you do read the book, you will find that it's very different from the movie. I think the movie doesn't actually go into as much detail as the book, as most books do, or as most movies do. But with American Psycho specifically, it's like you actually get to become him in a way, and you think about how he's so desensitized to reality. And this ties into the second book, which is No Longer Human by, I don't know how to say his name. And yeah, these 2 books, they just kind of go into that like feeling not like a human, feeling desensitized to life. And this isn't the same as being depressed, but I think we've all kind of been in that kind of mindset where we don't really know what's going on. We don't feel like we can relate to anyone. We feel so outcasted. And the third book is Less Than Zero by Bret Easton Ellis, same author as American Psycho. I think this is like a very underrated book of his, and there is a movie, I still haven't watched it, but this is my absolute like favorite all-time book. And it's more relatable to me than it is with American Psycho, because the character itself isn't like this business guy. It's just a teenager, and I think a younger person would be able to relate more. Not only that, but the book isn't as repetitive as American Psycho. So the fourth book is A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess. And I only just read this recently. I've been recommended it so many times. And this is a book that's literally in another language, but you get used to it. And I read it recently, so it's like, I love seeing a character think a certain way, and then they go through something during the course of the book, like some kind of like mental torture, and then at the end of the book something changes. And so you get that in A Clockwork Orange, but you also get that in the last book, which is 1984 by what's his name, George Orwell. Yeah, that's a classic. I added it as the last one because I feel like everyone's read this. Okay, that's 5 books already, but there is one more book, and that's Lord of the Flies. This is like a classic, but like also I love that kind of delve into madness, the kind of, you kind of see everyone turn kind of crazy. And I think the linking factor with all these books is that they're kind of exploring the darker parts of what it means to be human. I think we don't really get that very often, where we actually think about how the mind works and how we turn into like these monsters. Like, we can be monsters, everyone's capable. I think my favorite book quote from any of these books is probably from A Clockwork Orange, and he basically says that a man is only a man if he chooses to be good. If he doesn't have that choice, then he's no longer a man. And I feel like that's like very summarizing of what it means to be a human. We have to choose to be good. We have to choose the right option. And I think that's a good thing with self-improvement, is that you can choose to be a better person, right? So yeah, that's my reading list. If you have some book recommendations that are kind of similar to these books, if you read any of these, please do leave them in the comments. I need more books to read. I'm currently reading The Compound Effect, and it's by Darren Hardy, I think, and it's very interesting, and I will summarize what he's actually talking about in the book. But I'm finding it a very good book, even though I kind of know what he's talking about. But yeah, it's really cool. So that's my books that I just want to get out there. I'll talk to you later.